Mm-mm. Hey, hi, hello, how are ya? Meister Drew here, friendly neighborhood non-binary, pronouns they, them, she, her. Hope y'all are having a great day. I'm super sorry. Oh, there's ads playing. Shit. God damn it. So maybe I should wait 2 minutes before I even start this intro. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. 2 minutes is honestly a lot to wait. Jesus fucking Christ. This is gonna take a while. Oh, it's very irritating that. And then why? Hold on. Like, that's kind of crazy that ads play. Like, I mean, I know ads play, like, right when you first start your stream, no matter what. Like, either pre roll ads play when somebody first comes in, or if you have ads set up like me, um, where it's as far apart as possible, 30 minutes is the most you can set them apart. Um, they'll play like in the first 10 minutes, but like, goddamn. Like you can't even get the fucking show in without some fucking ads coming in. Like that's kind of wild. I don't fucking know. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of nuts. All right, so the ads are done. So let's try this again. Let's try this intro again. Hey, hi, hello, how are you? Meister Chewy here. Friendly neighborhood non-binary, pronouns they, them, she, her, please. Yeah. We got another episode, and it's going to be What's Up Wednesday because sorry, I was not getting good sleep last night. I didn't actually fall asleep until 6 a.m. So yeah, there was no way I was gonna be waking up at 7 or 8 to get ready for the show today. So this is what you get. That's why the episode is episode 7. Sorry I'm late. But hey, we're still here. We're still doing it, right? So let's just get straight into it.
The ableism. You don't want to say anything because you want to keep the peace, but you're also keeping the racism. Yeah, yeah. You don't want to say anything because you want to keep the peace, but you're also keeping the homophobia, the transphobia, the ableism. Yep, yep. You don't want to say anything, but it's keeping those isms every time you choose not to say something. Speak up and stop it, or shut up and let it go. And when you let it go, you keep the racism, keep the ableism, keep the ism by letting it go.
Right.
You don't.
So let's just address the elephant in the room. We as gamers know that those of us who are empathetic can't be openly empathetic in, say, global chat or well, the internet in general, because people will literally attack you for having empathy. It's wild. People will literally attack you for defending people. Prime example, what happened with Michelle Obama. I'm not going to give it a platform. It doesn't need more of a platform than it even got. It doesn't even need the platform that it got. Like I think we gave it too much energy. Just like the post that I made. I was saying we were giving it too much energy because to be honest, like a lot of content creators that did a much better job with a long form video, I just made something quick and I honestly wanted to lighten the mood with comedy and take attention away from him and the trauma and then simply just, you know, talk against transphobia, misogyny, and racism. That's why I made mine very simple and I didn't even talk about what he said. Hey Darth, how's it going? I didn't try to give it I didn't, like I said, didn't give it much energy. But like I said, content creators that made much better videos than me, plain and simple, we shouldn't be rage baited by this. Like, yes, it was a bad, terrible thing. It was done in front of millions of people. It should be responded to, and a lot of us did respond to it. But crying and seething and doing all this and that and having long monologues about it, citing civil rights, this, civil rights, that. No, that's ridiculous. I mean, talking about the fact that black women are, the target of these types of people on a regular basis, that's fine. But doing all this extra shit, we shouldn't be. That's what he wants, right? Like I thought we were taught not to do that. Like when bullies try to get your attention, we don't give them that energy. I thought that's what we were taught, but what I guess it's different because it's the most educated first lady in history. Which don't try to give me that bullshit that Jill Biden's more educated than her. She's Michelle Obama is a doctor as well. She's a doctor of law. She's a juris doctor. So and she got it from an Ivy League school. I don't think Jill Biden went to an Ivy League school. So don't give me that bullshit. Now, mind you, we shouldn't be like, oh, Ivy League schools are better, anyways. But hey, that's how it is. So get the fuck over it. I didn't make the fucking rules. Um, but yeah, it's kind of wild that also at the same point, people are like, people in my comments, the MAGA fuckers, the transphobes and everything, are like bothered when I defend, say, Michelle Obama or a trans person who was attacked or a black person who was, attacked or something with one of my videos. Like, hello, like, I'm not actually bothered by what the person said or did. I am speaking out against transphobia, misogyny, racism, bigotry, so on and so forth. I am addressing the elephant in the room, as I said before, right? That's the point of the videos that I make. That's the point of this podcast that I'm making right now to begin with. That's the point of the articles that I write. We can't just sit idly by while people behave this way. And it's crazy that they think we're just going to sit idly by and let them behave this way, or that we are supposed to sit idly by and let them behave this way, right? Like, I don't know if it's coming from thinking that, oh, freedom of speech, this, freedom of speech, that. By the way, the whole world doesn't have freedom of speech. And the internet is the whole world. It's not just America. So you should really taper what you're doing online simply because of that. Like, hello, what the fuck? Like they're so small minded. It's not even funny. They don't realize there's a bigger world outside of that little scope that they have. And it's hilarious too, because like people will make comments like talk about like, oh, like some people will call me little guy. Like, excuse me, little guy? Like I will literally pop your fucking head off, buddy. Like you don't like I'm over 200 pounds, homie. Like I'm not a little guy. Don't try to threaten me with violence when violence wasn't even brought up in the video to begin with. That's hilarious that you idiots go straight to fucking violence. Also, that also shows that we need to speak out against this shit because some of y'all are violent. Some of y'all want to respond violently to people just because they're standing up to shit. That's fucking crazy. That's insane. That's fucking insane. And I will literally flatten you. I will grind you into paste, homie, if you try some shit on me. Because I've seen those videos of you motherfuckers getting into fights. Y'all are not trained. Y'all are not fucking trained. Most of you are not trained that run your fucking mouth. Trained people don't run their fucking mouth like that. Let's just be perfectly fucking clear. Gym bros and people who got into fights in high school run their mouth like that. Okay. And then also another thing I want to address, because I know MAGA people watch various shit. And I'll probably make a clip of this so that this goes on social media so that I know that they watch this. It's cringy as fuck when y'all come into my comments responding as if I was talking to you. Let's make this perfectly clear. All of this is made for leftists. This isn't even made for liberals. I don't fucking like do nothing liberals just as much as I don't like you MAGA fucks. And I also don't like Republicans that don't do nothing either. Let's make that perfectly clear too. So, y'all Republicans that separate yourself from MAGA that are still allowing this shit to happen just like liberals, I don't like none of y'all. All of my content is not made for any of y'all. So when you come into my comments talking to me like, well, I don't, why do you think I should listen to you? I don't think you should listen to me. My shit was not made for you, dumbass. Why are you in my comments? Why are you watching my shit? You had to look me up to find me. Okay? You don't follow me. I know you don't follow me. So you had to look me up to find me, or you had to be searching things that I would fall under to find me. They always resort to bullying and violence. It's so terrible. Right. Because they're trogs. That's why I call them trogs. They're fucking cavemen. They're Cro-Magnon men. Like they don't understand. Like anger. Anger is their response to everything. Anger, 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 anger. They don't know other emotions. And then they hypocritically will talk about saying that we're crying. Like, what do you mean? Does this look like crying to you? Or say that I'm complaining. You don't know the definition of words. This isn't me complaining. This is literally me stating my observation and clapping back to you. That's what this is. You don't even understand that I'm insulting you. That's fucking hilarious. Oh, you're complaining. No, I'm trying to insult you, you fucking dipshit. And you're too stupid to fucking understand that. That's fantastic. Like, what? Blows my fucking mind. Holy shit, you feeble-minded nincompoops. I swear to God, ignorance is not always bliss. It is not. It is not. It is not. The loudest mouths are the lowest IQs. I'm telling you right now, the loudest mouths are the lowest IQs. Like, next, if you are on social media and if any of these people comment on your shit, I don't know how active y'all are. If any of these people comment on your shit, do a little bit of investigative work. Go look at their accounts, look and see what they do with their accounts. 9 times out of 10, they're not a creative person. So there could be some jealousy in there, by the way. There could be some jealousy in there that you were able to put something to fucking together and they can't even fucking draw the way out of a wet paper bag. So there could be some jealousy there, for one. 2, they're angry as fuck because most of their comments are them just hating on somebody. And most of them are just hating on somebody. This leads people to believe that a lot of these accounts are bots. No, trust me. These people, there are stupid enough people. I live in Florida. Darth lives in Florida. We know that there are stupid enough people for some of these people to be real people. Trust me on that. Some of these people are very much real people. They're not bot accounts. You can test it out by trying to get the person to respond like a human, right? Like don't respond in such a rudimentary way. Like get them to try to actually have to type out something that a bot would not fucking type out, right? Like think about your response to them. And that's another thing. A lot of people don't respond to them because they think that's an elevated take, which once again, this video right here, you doing nothing empowers them. Let's make that perfectly clear. I don't care what you do, but know when you do nothing, like not even report them to get their account suspended so they can't continue to do this. And that's another thing too. When you don't respond to them, you're empowering them and then allowing your friends, your trans brothers and sisters, your black brothers and sisters, your Asian brothers and sisters, so on and so forth, to then get attacked by this person because they're not going to stop. They think they succeeded because you blocked them. When you block them, you're giving them what they wanted. You disappeared now. They don't ever get to see you again. They think you were triggered when you blocked them, and then they're going to continue to perpetuate that shit because they have not learned a lesson. No one has taught them a lesson yet. No one has taught them that we do not stand for this shit because y'all just let them keep fucking doing that. Haven't y'all seen videos where people say you let a kid just run a fucking muck, they're going to turn into a shitty little kid? It's no different with adults. Like, what are y'all doing? You're not an elevated individual when you allow these people to do things like that. I mean, what's that age-old fucking saying? The only thing evil requires is for good men to do nothing. Hello? Which I misquoted it. That's not the exact words, but that's the gist of it. Like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, what? Like, don't sit here and make comments about us who defend our brothers and sisters. We're not just defending ourselves. It's not about me. I don't fucking care. They didn't hurt my feelings when they made shit, said shit in the comments. I'm defending my community. Somebody in my community might get triggered by some of the shit that this person fucking said in my comments. So when I don't say anything, that kind of looks bad to my people. And vice versa, to be completely honest. I've got over 1,000 followers on Threads. I've got over 1,000 followers on several meta platforms. Facebook, not so much, because Facebook, I keep that mostly private. So it's honestly people I know IRL, not like followers and shit, but I do make things public. But nonetheless, like I said, it's vice versa. When I don't see people who follow me, like even coming into my DMs and being like, man, that's kind of shitty when they act like that to you. I'm sorry. Like, honestly, you don't have to say you're sorry to me, but the fact that nobody says nothing, why are y'all so surprised that we trans people say y'all don't give a fuck? I've got over 1,000 followers on more than one platform, and not a single person says anything when they gang up on me in the comments. Now, once again, that doesn't hurt my feelings, but that could hurt some other trans person's feelings. Like, you're sitting here following this person, supporting them, but then you don't actually support them. Like, you're not saying nothing. You're allowing this shit to fucking go unchecked, and you're allowed it to be perpetuated by not saying nothing, by not doing nothing. And it can be self-preservation on your part by not saying nothing. Maybe you don't want to deal with them possibly coming in and attacking you now after that. But once again, evil succeeds when good people do nothing. So eventually they're gonna come after your ass. That person that hates in the comments, they don't just go after trans people. That's not no. They don't come after that. You don't feel comfortable posting shit because of people like that, maybe. And then when you sit there and let them continue to do shit, that's just going to continue to make you feel bad, and then the next person feel bad, and the next person feel bad, and the next person doesn't want to do shit. Like, not only do we politically need to stand up together, like socially we need to stand up together. It's fucking wild out here. Like, people don't fucking care. People act like they care about each other. People act like they're empathetic, but they don't. You don't care. You don't actually care. Because if you actually did care, you'd fucking do something. And it's free. It's free to defend your friend. It's free to defend your mutual. Like, that's another thing too. If you're mutual, you both follow each other. I know you fucking see that shit. I know you have to see that shit. And once again, I don't require it. I don't fucking care. I'll defend myself all fucking day. But at the end of the fucking day, when you see another trans person, not me, another trans person coming into the comments talking about nobody gives a fuck, or another black woman talking about, everybody's always ganging up on black women, nobody's defended black women, or several people that followed you, all of a sudden their accounts are fucking dead because you didn't do nothing to defend them in your comments. This is why. This right here is why. This video right here explains why. Because you sat by and did nothing. But let's move on. I gave that almost 30 minutes because I feel strongly about that. I feel very strongly about people thinking that they're better people, they're elevated people because they ignore the comments. No. Especially when you sit in here making videos or making a post about those comments. And then when it comes to the actual fight itself, you don't do nothing. That's no different from people championing some shit online, and then when it comes time to vote or do something like that, right? You're not doing nothing. You're not voting. You're sitting here talking about shit politically, like, oh, this and that's wrong, but then you don't actually do nothing. It's no different with that. But yeah, let me get off of that. Now, lately we've been heavily focusing on the increase in trans deaths lately, ever since that counterterrorism decree. I do believe that they are connected, and I have been following trans deaths lately, not as closely as I would like to, because it's very difficult to follow that in all 50 states. But yes, more have happened. Um, and that is unfortunate. But I feel that these situations need to be addressed this week, because they are quite significant. We will start out with Cyrus Carmack Belton, which it wasn't, last week, right? Like that wasn't last week. The ninth wasn't last week. I mean, technically, it was last week, but it happened 3 years ago, though. But people are talking about the shooting that occurred with Cyrus Carmack Belton at the convenience store. It was this basically anti-black racism. Essentially, what people are saying, it is quite unfortunate. Um, it's getting as much attention, like they're saying, like it is almost getting as much attention as the George Floyd situation. Essentially, the store owners chased. It was Rick Chow and his son, I believe. Chased Cyrus out. Actually, I said I wasn't going to give a platform to these because I don't want to. I don't want to because some people agree with what the story owner did, so that's why I kind of don't like giving these things a platform. But I feel like I do need to explain it. But at the same time, it's 3 years ago. If you don't know about it, that's kind of crazy. Nonetheless, the kid didn't do anything wrong. Let's keep it concise. Cyrus didn't do anything wrong. Store owner chased him down, shot him. Should have been murder, to be completely honest. But that's not how it turned out. And that honestly perpetuates systemic racism within America. It's complete bullshit. It caused, actually, is part of why I wrote that POC article. I believe the quoted podcaster that I referenced in saying, they don't agree with the term POC. They were even talking about POC because of this scenario that occurred to begin with, this tragedy that occurred. Um, Essentially, they were saying that they don't fuck with Asian people. Um, I don't know if it was simply due to this or because of several things that have occurred in their life. I don't know. But this is the causation of a lot of turmoil between races. And it's actually pretty good that AAPI is condemning Rick Chow and is calling for cross-racial solidarity. So, whereas that podcaster talks about, oh, people who say POC don't like black people. Yeah, that's bullshit, homie. It's bullshit right here. Um, Now, another unfortunate situation. I shouldn't call it a situation. Tragedy. That's that's a far more respectable term. I apologize. I should not say situation. A 1-year-old was honestly murdered by police officers, unfortunately, in Mississippi. Let's see. Cohen Cartier, I believe that's Cartier. Willie, 1-year-old baby. He was inside a car. So that's why it's murder. You're not supposed to shoot at a vehicle. Police officers are never supposed to shoot at a vehicle. Unless they're being fired upon from the vehicle. If they're being fired upon from the vehicle, right? There's clauses and loopholes and things like that, right? The vehicle's not, no one's shooting out of the vehicle, right? Now, unfortunately, I do believe the mother was driving towards them, but she was not driving towards them to try to drive over them. She was driving towards them because the police were called on her. Now, the police were called on her wrongfully. The store said she stole diapers. She had a receipt for the diapers. Just an FYI. That's been reported. She had a receipt for the diapers. So no crime was been committed. She hasn't been charged with anything. So whereas people are like, "Oh, both parties are in the wrong. The cops and the mother are in the wrong." Let's make that perfectly clear right now. There was a lot of disinformation that apparently was coming out from the police department to try to cover the asses of the police officers. The union was doing that typical lying bullshit to try to paint her as a criminal. She's not a criminal. She's not been charged. So there you go. You can look it up. She has not been charged. So them firing upon the vehicle was simply because they got scared because they thought she was trying to run them over, and she was just trying to go to them because they were called for her. So if she had left the scene, same situation might have happened, to be completely honest. Same situation might have happened. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Once again, unfortunate tragedy. And I hope they get. They're probably not going to get charged with murder. Let's face it, there's no way they're going to get charged with murder. But hopefully they get charged with killing this child, because they did. They killed him. They killed him. It was 100% wrong. They should not have fired on the vehicle. A crime was not even committed, so they shouldn't even have been there. This could have been 100% avoided. 100% avoided. And now this is not a death. Now I do apologize. I haven't layered in any comedy in. I actually did have some stuff written, but I just, after actually talking about this stuff, I'm not feeling that vibe. I am not feeling that vibe at all. I would really like this to go away. I would really like that to go away. That's very upsetting. Anyways, Carmelo Anthony, 19-year-old, which let's just point out what this says right here. I guess I should go over what happened. This was a self-defense case, plain and simple. He was getting bullied by two individuals, so he was outnumbered. And unfortunately, in self-defense, he decided to stab one of them. And that person died. Now, everybody keeps saying child. 19 years old is not. I mean, I know I call, like, at 19 years old, your brain's not fully developed still, technically. It's not developed into adulthood. So in a way, they are children, but like they're acting like people are acting like they're in high school or something. I think that's a bit much. They're adults. They're adults. He was tried as an adult, and you fucked him over. He got hit with murder, as far as I know. And he's going to be doing hard time. He's going to be doing hard time. And the father of the child who died, unfortunately, apparently decided to go on a drunken rant online. A drunken racist rant. Sorry, drunken racist rant. Like he even said, look at that. He even said, "Let me make something racist up so y'all can go viral." Like what? Like he intentionally did it. That's insane. That just goes to show you how racist this area is. The, like the kid was self-defense. Your son was ganging up on him. He was bullying him, and your son got shanked in the process. And you're going to not only get upset, which is naturally so, I understand that, but then go a step further and be openly racist online. You're not going to hate all black people because somebody felt the need to defend themselves against your possibly evil son. That's pretty wild. That's pretty crazy. That's your response to the situation. your son was committing a crime and somebody had to defend themselves. Now, whether or not the court decided that that was a crime doesn't matter. We all know how reality works. Just because the court says something doesn't mean you have to just go with it. Even if your family member is the one who was slain, like that's crazy. There's plenty of people out here who their family member was legitimately slain by an evil person who still go, please be lenient on them or something like that, right? This was self-defense. And this motherfucker's out here acting like he's a cold-blooded killer. What? No, you're already racist, dude. You're already racist, and this town's fucking racist. Look, he's the one black person here. Okay, maybe there's like one or two other ones back there. But like, come on. Come on. Dude, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. This is some fucking bullshit. This is some fucking bullshit. All in all, these things I want to point out. Like I said, the first we mentioned was 3 years ago, but we're talking about it again. And then the other two, my point of bringing these up, instead of trans murders, racist crimes are obviously on the rise. I would say, because all of these became trending topics around the same time. So that's why we're talking about these, as opposed to, like I said, the rise in trans murders. I felt we needed to point out, hey, they're coming after African Americans heavy right now. I mean, they always have been. Hello, systemic racism. But like, I don't know. It feels like they're coming after our young people, especially. I guess that's what I'm saying specifically. It feels like they're heavily coming after our young people because I think it's a counterpoint to their whole protect young white men agenda right now, as if something so terrible is happening to them. And they try to push that this, which I don't believe, the male loneliness epidemic, and I can't stand even saying that. I try not to say it unless I'm joking about it because I don't believe it. But they tried, when they talk about that shit, like, they literally make it seem like they're just talking about white men being lonely, and it's weird as fuck. Which, mind you, y'all might be the majority of the lonely men, to be completely honest, because y'all are the ones doing all this weird fucking shit. And y'all motherfuckers that want to be white are doing this weird shit too. Let's be fucking real. Any person who is non-white that does weird MAGA shit, excuse me, wants to be white. And this ain't that whole like fucking prejudice thing where it's like, oh, well, you think acting a certain way is white. No, I literally think you want to be white. I literally think you wish you were born a white person. I literally think you wish you were born a Caucasian person. I literally think you wish you could transition your race. That's what I think. That's when I say that, that's what I think. I don't think white is a personality. I don't think black is a personality. No. There's a culture. Sure, you can be of the culture, but it's not a personality. No, I mean, you actually wish you could go back in time, hit a button before you were born and be like, white baby. That's what I fucking think. That when I say that, just to be perfectly fucking clear, you are self-racist. That's what I'm saying. To be 100% clear. Yeah. Anyways, we shall move on because we have now hit the 40-minute mark.
It's one of the lazy Donald Trump got back into office, I have seen so many videos, so many articles, and so many posts of people essentially cheering for the downfall of the United States. They are so angry that Trump is our president that they would more than happily watch our country burn to the ground so they could rule over the ashes.
I'm going to stop you right there because this is one of the laziest propaganda tricks on the right. They take our criticism of Trump and then pretend it means we hate America. No, we don't want the country to fail. We want Trump to stop failing the country. If we wanted the country to burn, why would we be fighting what he's doing? Why would we want to protect Medicaid and SNAP and unions and veterans and civil rights, all while billionaires get another warm bubble bath of tax cuts? That's what you call hating America? We're the ones trying to keep America from being turned into a private equity firm. And let me clear something up. We respect the office, just not the person in it. What you're really mad about is that we refuse to treat Trump like he's America. He's not the country, he's a politician, a corrupt, petty, unstable politician who's convinced people that loyalty to him is the same thing as patriotism. It's a con. Because when Trump hurts people, you say it's strength. When we object, you say we're rooting for failure. When your house is on fire, arresting the arsonist and grabbing a hose is not hating the house. It's trying to save it. The left isn't angry because we hate this country. We hate watching people loot it and lie about it and then call the rest of us unpatriotic for pointing it out. And people like you watching the country being dragged backwards while calling it greatness isn't true patriotism. It's blind obedience. And remember, I'm not the dark left. Together, we're the dark left, the defiant left. Please join us in helping to call out the bullshit and bring some sanity back to the conversation.
Shout out that dude. He is a former Republican, not MAGA, former Republican, and he has gone. I don't know if he's a leftist, but he's on the left, so he's at least a Democrat. So shout out to him. There is possible reform for these people, even people in MAGA, because like I always say, a lot of MAGA does not realize that they are a form of socialist. Now, of course, there's probably a lot of things that they don't agree with, but they aren't really conservatives because they talk about how Trump is going to give them this, Trump's going to give them that, Trump's going to give them this and give them that. No, conservatives don't do that. Like already you don't understand what team you signed up with. So there's that. But yeah, if you have social media, if you're a leftist, or anybody on the left, the dark left, he's legit. Give him a follow. But anyways, that dude talking about, oh, they want to see the world burn. So dude watched Batman and thought he fucking did something. Come on, bro. Shut the fuck up. Just like he said, us coming out and exercising our First Amendment right, and then also our right to protest against tyranny, a tyrannical government. Hello, America was founded on going against a tyrannical government. What do you mean? That's America itself. Huh? Like, what are you talking about? Like, we're not wanting America to burn, or we're not anarchists. Actually, it's not even anarchists. We need to stop saying that anarchists want the world to burn too. That's not fucking anarchists. I forget what the term is. There's an actual term for individuals that want the actual American nation to crumble because they think there will be a reset afterwards. And I know some people are going to think nihilist. It's not that either. God damn it, I can't think of the fucking term. It's actually, as far as I know, I think it's against the law. Like, if you get caught openly discussing like the fall of the government and that whole reset shit, that whole theory itself, it's kind of treasonous as far as I know. But like, no, that's not what leftists are. That's not even what anarchists are. That's actually why I corrected that, to make that clear, because that in turn, that's kind of what this guy's saying. That talked about the world burning. It's not it not wanting an established government, communism and anarchism is not the same as wanting things to turn into Mad Max Thunderdome. That's not It's not what they're saying. They still want a system in place where people are thriving and doing well, just under the power of themselves. So actually, it's hilarious, that whole pull yourself up by your bootstraps thing y'all Republicans talk about all the fucking time. I actually am talking to y'all right now for once. That's technically what communists are talking about. That's technically what socialists are talking about. They don't want the government doing shit other than what they're supposed to, if they're in place. Once again, anarchists don't want government. I'm talking about socialists. Anarchists don't want government at all. Communists don't want government at all. But democratic socialists and socialists, they do want government. They want the government. If they want the government, they want the government to do what they're supposed to do, right? Take care of the people. But anarchists and communists, they don't want government at all. So they want the people to be in charge. So once again, that is technically the people pulling themselves up by their bootstraps and governing themselves. So once again, y'all kind of see eye to eye with this side that you don't fucking agree with. It's very fucking weird that y'all have so many comments against people that you agree with at the end of the day. Conservatism is counter to these ideologies, of course, but still, like, some of your ideals are very, 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 very similar. But yeah, it's tiring, the argument, because it's not a debate. You're making shit up, so it's an argument that we on the left just want the world to burn. So why doesn't the world burn whenever a Democrat is in office? Huh? Let's go off of lived experiences at this point instead of conjecture. Why the fuck haven't we taken to the streets with tiki torches? Anyways, I digress. Why haven't we taken to the streets and tried to rearrange the establishment, if you think that we're just so ready to do that? Like the whole thing about us being violent too. There hasn't even been another Stonewall yet. People don't do what they did back during the civil rights, feminists, and gay movement. People don't do even that. So y'all saying that this generation now is violent blows my fucking mind. Y'all think this generation's violent. What the fuck would y'all have done back then? What the fuck would y'all little fucking snowflakes have done back then when the motherfucker actually got out and did something? See, nowadays, for somebody that looks like me, it's a bit problematic because back then, yeah, law enforcement was still fucking shit. But at least they weren't fucking out here doing this type of fucking shit, man. They weren't Nazi level type of shit. They weren't Gestapo snatching your ass up, taking you to a whole nother state across the fucking country and putting you in some fucking detainment center you shouldn't even fucking be in just because you're protesting. They weren't doing some shit like that. Motherfuckers dying in these detention centers and shit. Illegally detained in a whole other state. Motherfucker just got released. That's from the Keys the other day from Delaney Hall. Why is somebody from here all the way in Delaney? Let alone if they got released, obviously they shouldn't have been fucking detained, right? And they just tossed them out in the street. Just tossed them out in the street. Dude didn't have a phone or nothing. I wish oh God, man, do I have that video? Do I have that shit? Actually, I know it's on his. Damn, how old was that shit? Ah, motherfucker. How old was that shit? Actually, it might have been on my Instagram. Might have been on my Instagram. Oh, no, that's right. It wasn't his account. I don't think. I don't think it was on his account. I think it was on a different account, but it was him. Like it was somebody else filming, but it was him talking to them. Shit. Damn. Um but anyways, yeah, that shit's wild. That shit's crazy. Um we have a right to protest. Like that's not protesting isn't us um clamoring behind the idea of America falling. That's not it's not what protesting is about. Protesting is the complete opposite actually. Protesting is because we want things to be fixed. We protest because we want things fixed, and that's why I also find people coming into the comments to be a special kind of stupid, because you don't even understand why we're protesting. You don't understand that we want things to be better. You're just so just all you hear is the word complain. You're complaining. I think you're misogynistic, right? Because you probably attach that to women. Like, oh, women nag all the time. You're one of those men. Women nag all the time. They complain all the time. So then, because you see a trans person, right? You're then, well, they act like a woman. So they're just complaining. They're nagging. Look at them. Oh, my God. That, right? That's what you're doing. When they start saying the complaining thing or crying, you're crying. Which, why did that? Can we go back to the, are you mad, bro? I preferred that. I preferred that over the stop crying thing. Why did we pivot from are you mad, bro? Which was already stupid in itself, because once again, you're not triggering anybody. Like what you're saying isn't even clever half the fucking time. Like, come the fuck on. Half the words you fucking say are only 2 syllables. Like, Jesus Christ. But the are you mad, bro actually made sense, right? Like, because they're trying to trigger you. So then they're like, are you mad? Right? And then even if you were mad or not, they still would assume you're mad. Just like right now, the whole, oh, you're crying. And then you're like, well, you can see I'm not crying. I'm not even whining. Like, what? Yeah, you are. You're crying. Look at you. You're crying. Just cry. Just be cry. What? Do you know what the word cry means? Like, even if you're using it metaphorically, like, do you know what the word cry means? Like, holy fuck, man. Anyways, what was the video we were just on? I don't even know well, we were talking about motherfuckers basically trying to play up that anybody who is pro-America right now, right? The protesters, those of us who have sense, those of us on the left, and select Republicans, Lincoln Project Republicans, if you will. That dude was trying to basically act like we're terrorists, and this next video, yeah, they're actually acting upon that.
Today, that's not a hypothetical message to everyone in Minnesota and everyone in general. Be prepared. Have you protested ICE or federal agents at all in Minnesota? Well, if you have, the FBI may visit you. That's not a maybe. Today, that's not a hypothetical. It's real. 15 folks from Minnesota were just charged federally. For what? For protesting. For observing federal agents in their own neighborhoods. If you've been out there protesting, you need these numbers. For criminal and immigration support, the NLG hotline for protest-related issues, the Legal Rights Center, Neighborhood Justice Center, for Dakota, Ramsey, or Washington counties. The Immigration Law Center of Minnesota. All of these will be linked below for you. And if you are facing intimidation or civil rights violations, the ACLU of Minnesota has a direct reporting form. Use it. That is also linked for you. Knowing your rights is not paranoia right now. It's preparation. My name is Sean Barley, and I'm with Cup of Culture and The Progressive. And if you want to help fight back against this, please share this video. This is a message to everyone in Minnesota.
So
and
yeah,
everyone in
they're literally locking people up, well, arresting them. I mean, I guess technically you're gonna get locked up in the process. Temporary holding, maybe. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I've never been arrested. I don't know how that process fucking works. So there you go. There's that. But for being Antifa, I believe it was, like, they didn't specify in this video. I saw in a different video. I believe they are actually charging these people with like some type of Antifa related charges. So they're essentially saying they're terrorists. So whereas we warned y'all that they're eventually going to start trying people who are protesting as terrorists, we weren't making it up. It's actually happening. They're trying people as terrorists for exercising their right to protest. Once again, that's a right. Not a privilege. It's a right. So that means it's protected. So getting arrested. Here's the thing. Antifa means anti-fascists. So to be Antifa, inherently you are not anti-American. You would be anti-Trump. Sure. You would definitely be anti-Trump. And that's the problem. That's what you're actually being arrested for. Remember, you were also warned that they made a revenge squad, right? Because apparently behind closed doors, like, it was referenced as a revenge squad. And that's probably what this is. It's probably what's going on right now. So to be completely honest, if you don't know, just so you know, there is a list of offenders. This list is literally just the free press. There are independent journalists who are being accused of being anti-American simply because they report the news accurately. This revenge squad is probably eventually going to go after these people. They've actually already arrested some of these people already, and these people are currently going through legal battles over the fact that it is encroaching upon their protection as free press. Free press has certain protections beyond the typical protections of freedom of speech. So, yeah. It's kind of wild. It's kind of wild. That's why in certain situations with protesting, like, press will be allowed to stay in an area where the protesters won't be allowed to stay. They're actually more protected than typical citizens. So that's just food for thought. We journalists, yeah, anybody who's reported on the press, anybody who's doing that, essentially, as a journalist, is protected within a different scope, if you will. And they're not only going after them, but now they're going after protesters as well. So that's pretty fucking wild. So that's why, I address the fact that there's people out here spouting off propaganda and bullshit, because it's emboldening this shit that the government's fucking doing. And it's going to have people out here trying to say that it's okay to arrest people who are protesting now, because well, your protesting is treasonous. No, that's not a thing. It's not a thing. That's why motherfuckers would try to say all the time, all those hate groups that would protest. They try to be like, yeah, no, they're allowed to protest because, First Amendment and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, it's not a fucking thing. Like, hate speech is not protected same as freedom of speech. So that's why those motherfuckers shouldn't be able to do the shit that they fucking do. But, out here protesting the fucking government that's being tyrannical, once again, that's how America even started. So, huh? Huh? And then we do have to hit. This is kind of funny. This is because, see, comedy, it says it right here. So even if you don't find it funny, if you are triggered because of what is said, I do apologize. But I did find this to be funny.
Why do you call me a man as an insult? Do you think there's something bad and insulting about being a man? I thought you guys love it. And why do you call me a man as an insult?
But that is valid, right? Like, if they love being a man so much, right? They love being a man so much, and it's so wonderful, it's so great. Well, wouldn't you think their response should be like, well, fine, we don't want you in here anyways, or something like that? Like, you know what I mean? No, instead they're like, no, you're one of us, brother. So you want me to be a part of your group, but yet at the same time you're harassing me? Huh? And then you're saying it like it's a pejorative. Why would I want to be a part of said gender group if you're saying it, like she said, like it's so bad? And at the end of the day, you don't get to choose. I say it all the time. You don't get to choose. Nobody gets to choose, really. You are what you are. And you might discover what your true gender is, or you might not discover what your true gender is. And that might partly be why they're so mad, because they can't. They might have feelings of a certain way. And they just can't fathom themselves being a different gender than what they were told they are. But then they might feel like that. They might feel differently. It's just confused feelings balling up and making them so angry. So angry they have to poop. Oh God. But yeah, I just thought that was something funny. And happy Pride Month as usual. And as usual, we gotta say something trans. We gotta get something trans in here. And this is something happy trans stuff. Like last week we did happy stuff because it's Pride Month. Like I said, the deaths, we were focusing on the deaths simply because I wanted to keep track, because I feel like there's an increase, and if there's an increase in them because of this fucking counterterrorism shit, then it needs to be talked about. And something needs to be done about it no matter what, but something would especially need to be done about it if they're on a rise, like they're actually openly targeting us even more. But yeah, now this last bit is, now I don't know if y'all know this, but I am a comic book fan. You might know that I'm a comic book fan because if you've seen my toy photography, you know that my toy photography, ooh, that glare, ooh, don't give me that glare. My toy photography generally is superhero shit, or just anything Look at that foil. That foil. That foil. Generally, my toy photography is that Silver Surfer variant cover. Collector's edition, baby. Generally, toy photography is comic book related. So yes, I am actually a comic book fan, even though I don't really talk about comic books too often on here or on stream. Um, Actually, I do talk about comic books sometimes on stream, so I'm a liar. I apologize. So some of y'all might know that I am a comic book fan, even if you only watch me on stream. But yeah, we're gonna talk about History being made, baby. Stephanie Williams. She is the first Black woman ever and second Black writer to be nominated for a Best Writer Eisner Awards. Now, if you don't know, it's basically comic book Oscars. Now, she is the author of Street Sharks, Roots of Madness, and Temporal. Now, as usual, obviously, she's probably not the only person writing for these, but that's what she is being notated for because of this nomination, I am sure. And that is just spectacular. Like, let's give her flowers. Like, what the fuck? That's breaking history, right? Like, that is fucking huge. That is huge. And like IDW, right? Like IDW isn't like I wouldn't consider them an indie publisher, right? So like that's legit, right? Like that's fucking straight legit. I will say one crazy thing though. She did say this. It's actually kind of wild that not one major comic news outlet, not including podcasts like Blurred Without Fear, Blurred Without Fear. Shout out to them. We are actually mutuals. Yo yo. Pink Riot Comic Show, Black Comic Lords, Comics League 2021, For All Nerds, etc., have written 80 pieces about not only my historic Eisner nominations, first Black woman and the second Black person since 95 for the Best Writer category, but also the amount of diverse nominations this year in total. So yeah, kind of crazy. Similar to what we do around here within Nerd Spaces. We've got indie journalists being the ones talking about a historic moment such as this. And all of the notable places, per her, excuse me, haven't said jack shit about what she's doing. And that's kind of wild. Like when you think about it, like, huh? And like they go on to try to break it down and try to say, figure out why exactly this occurred. I'm not going to get into that. In my opinion, let's call a spade a spade. The current climate does not promote Black women. It just doesn't. The current climate does not promote Black women. Comics industry, there's a lot of racist people in the industry and in the audience. A lot. And there's a lot of people who try to act like they're not racist. So it's those type of racists, right? Like people who say racist shit, openly say racist shit, like they want their comics to be white, like just white people. But yet they act like they're not racist. They want them to be written by white people, but they act like they're not racist. Like they don't care about the experiences of other cultures because I can't connect with that. I just can't connect with it. No, you don't want to connect with it. Because I'm sure there's a bunch of Black culture that you fuck with. I guarantee you don't just listen to white people as far as music goes. I guarantee you, as far as media goes, you don't just watch shit like Friends. Like, no, don't give me that. I guarantee you, your ass laughs at Kevin Hart just like every other fucking white person. yeah, let's be fucking real. Let's be fucking real here. But yeah, it's just kind of wild. Kind of wild that she's not getting her flowers in major media, but like I said, media in general is kind of doing that. You know, look at what we're doing here. Some of the shit that we talk about on this stream, especially trans topics that we talk about, major media doesn't fucking give two fucking shits. I do feel kind of bad not talking about recent trans deaths that have occurred. Excuse me. Because major media is not talking about them. Like they're not. Like they were talking about that one white girl that died in the laundry room. Sure. But then all these black trans women that died around her, you know, before and after her. None of them mentioned. None of them mentioned. So we can sit here and try to be like, oh, you know, they're just going for clickbait algorithm stuff, or they're, you know, they don't have enough people, they lack resources, da da da. No, it's a lack of representation. That is exactly what it is. It is a lack of representation. Because guess what? Major media outlets do not talk about African American people. They do not talk about Asian people. They do not talk about Native American people, indigenous people in general, Indian people. None of that. They don't. They want to talk about white people. White, whitey, white. In America, that is. In America. That's how it works around here. It's a totally different story outside of America, y'all. And I know, like, I know some of my audience aren't American, so y'all know. And y'all probably sit here watching the shit that I'm fucking talking about and go, God damn, that's fucking crazy. That's how it is. American racism's crazy. Y'all racism is not the same. It is not the same. Our racism is so fucked up. So fucked up. And it's so like diverse. Like there's so many different types of racism. Like it's funny how like when you try to call a celebrity racist to some foreign people sometimes, and they're just like, what do you mean? They're not racist. Because they just, the only racism they see is like the very open clan racism, right? That's the only type of racism they fucking know. They don't know the various forms racism can take. They don't know about that. They don't know about the various quiet forms of racism. They don't know about this shit. Dog whistle racism, if you will. And behind closed door racism, right? Actual systemic racism. Like, right? Like, for a lot of foreign people don't actually understand what systemic racism is because that's not really a thing outside of America as much as it is here. I'm sorry that I switched to racism, but I do feel like her not getting as much attention on, once again, this historic nomination is historic nomination. I feel like it's racism. I feel like once again, these major media outlets who are possibly run by Trump supporters are like, oh hell no. There's one thing is comic books. There's a lot of racism in comic books. There's a lot of racism in comic books. I'm trying to think. What is I'm trying to think of let's see. Let's look up comicbooks.com. That's considered oh. Wait, where is the fucking, there's like a journalist fucking site that or is it comicbook.com? Yeah, it's comicbook.com. That's what it is. Comicbook.com. I feel stupid. Let's see. Yeah. Last thing they said, any mention of her was 6'3". Oh, sorry. 6'24". 6'3", 2026. Yeah, no. Whatever the fuck this shit is. Talking about Shaquille O'Neal teaming up with the Archie Comics for epic new series. And what did they say about her? Excuse me. Oh, this is about the Black Caesar comic. I remember they were talking about that. So yeah, these fuckers, who are supposed to be a notable comic journalist, haven't even said anything. So that's interesting. It's all the same thing, right? Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, we can move on into Q&A if anybody is still actively here. Oh, we got ads. We got ads. So I'll wait 2 minutes and I'll ask that again. Yeah, this is some fucking crazy shit. We can go over some funny shit, I guess. This person, I guess a stray cat showed up and
Hi.
has connected with them
Um,
and will not leave.
Hi.
They had another
I
video
don't-
where the cat actually
I don't-
entered
I
their
don't know what
house.
to do.
So this cat is
I have
choosing
Never been picked
to
by the
bond
cat
with this
distribution
person.
system. This is
And
new for me.
I said,
Hi.
you've unlocked the familiar skill.
Hello?
You are now soul bonded and cannot
Do you
remove
belong to
items from
somebody?
inventory. Because
Do you have a home?
straight up, like, yeah, that cat ain't leaving. That cat is not leaving. That cat is a part of your home now. Sorry, fam. Sorry, fam. Oh, this. Yeah, let's talk about this.
White women. How can we look at white supremacy if supremacy is supposed to be white men and white women? How can we look at white supremacy if now
I don't think white supremacy is a real thing in 2026, man, if we're going to be honest. I think it's kind of like it might have existed before in the past, but I think nowadays it's not really a thing. I would argue that a lot of white men a lot of times don't necessarily have the same supremacy or benefits they might have had maybe 100 years ago. I think it's a dated term that doesn't really apply to 2026.
A few moments later.
Yeah, so I'm a white nationalist, white supremacist.
All right, cool.
I don't agree with you when you say that none of us exist. Obviously, I want to deport the non-whites. I want to get rid of the blacks.
Well, I didn't say you guys don't exist.
Okay, so
I said that it's not like a viable excuse anymore to claim systemic racism
but we
or
are real, right? You agree white nationalism, white supremacy is real?
yeah, it exists, but it's not to keep anyone from success is my argument. I don't think white supremacy is a real thing in 2026, man, if we're going to be honest. Why did I say you guys don't exist?
white supremacy is supposed to be white
All right,
men
so
and white
Find that fuck clip. That what hit that right there. That's the Manosphere. If you haven't heard about them, that's wild motherfuckers. Those were the motherfuckers that were jamming on the bus, listening to the Heil Hitler song, and then they got caught on camera, and then try to be like, nah, we didn't do that. Look at his shirt. Look at his shirt. Look at his shirt. Look at what's on there. And then saying white supremacy doesn't exist. And claiming that systemic racism doesn't exist anymore. While he's wearing a symbol of fascism. And the shirt says, separated by race, united by racism. But then has a Nazi symbol. I believe it's the second most popular Nazi symbol. Behind those words. And it's like, what? So I said, mad about diversity gathered behind fascism. Because just like Blur, like I said, Blur Without Fear were mutuals. He was like, they know their target audience can't read, so they made sure to not say it so plainly. Right? Like, what? So, I think you're openly saying that you're a fascist. For some reason, you think that's not a racist at the same time. And then you're out here talking about systemic racism doesn't exist. And then ironically, a fucking goddamn self-proclaimed neo-Nazi comes up and it's like, what are you talking about? We don't exist. What? What? Oh my God. Like, this is like, I would almost stand to wonder if I didn't know that these fools are laughably and unfortunately for them real people. I would think that this was all a staged situation. Not this guy necessarily, but then him saying, well, I guess technically that part would have to be staged too for the whole thing to fucking occur. But like but then again, they should know that they have an audience like this, right? Mind you, yes, he's a, brown-skinned individual, a melanated individual. Well, everybody's melanated. That's right. I said I was going to stop saying that. Everybody's melanated. But at the same time, the other people within this group, like there's Nick Fuentes in this group, right? So of course, those fuckers are going to be in the audience. Like, hello. Like, and that's the kind of the weird thing too. Like, if Nick Fuentes fucks with this guy, how much of a Nazi really is Nick Fuentes? If he's friends with this guy. Huh? Like, just because he does that doesn't mean that he'd be okay with that. Right? Like, sure, there were people of the Jewish faith that were also Nazis. Well, I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe they were practicing, but, they were Jewish people that were Nazis also. So there's that. But I don't know, man. I find it kind of clickbaity. Find it kind of clickbaity. Warren Beatty's third cousin. I don't know. This whole shtick right here. Like, I feel like the audience is real, right? Like, the audience is definitely real, but these are like generated people, right? Like, we used to talk about how, like, some bands were put together by studios, right? These motherfuckers are generated people. It's funny, I was going to sign off, but now we're here because I started talking about shit because I was trying to wait for the ads to finish so I could sign off. But yeah, I just don't know. And then Andrew Tate. Isn't Andrew Tate non-white? I don't even know. He might be white. He might be like Sicilian or some shit, which I don't know how Nazis don't like Italians, right? Like, Italians and Nazis historically didn't get along, right? Like, from what I remember during World War, like, Italians were with us. Like, what are you talking about? Weren't they? Like, am I wrong? Like, I'm not recalling that wrong. I know, I'm pretty sure of that. So, like, what? That's another thing. Like, what? Now, mind you, Nick Fuentes was the only one that was like, yeah, we were jamming the Kanye West song. The strangest Nazi in fucking history, Kanye West. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think this that occurred was a real situation, even though it definitely feels like a fake situation. But him as a person seems like a fake individual. He even said in an interview one time that vagina is disgusting. So the guy who's supposed to be teaching y'all what a man is, the guy who thinks the world needs to know what a man is from him, thinks vagina, the genitalia of the sex that he's supposed to be attracted to, per their context. And he says he's attracted to. He's not gay, just to be clear. He says he's straight, but vagina is disgusting. And then when the interviewer was like, huh? Because it was a woman, so that made it so much better. She goes, huh? And then he says to her, a straight woman, and he knew this, well, what do you think? Do you think it tastes good? And she goes, well, no. And he goes, see? Typical MAGA gotchanomics. They just, I don't, what? See? Huh? Dude, what are you talking about? Oh my God. These people, they fucking killed me. They fucking killed me. All right, we're at an hour and a half, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic show, I think. Fantastic show. Got a couple more notifications. What we got here? Oh, more people liked that. Oh, no, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna show this. We'll keep it safe for work. So it's a little not safe for work. I mean, I guess it's technically safe for work, but nah, it's cheeks. I ain't putting cheeks on the podcast. We ain't putting cheeks on the podcast. Threads is safe for work, but we still ain't putting cheeks on the podcast. If you want to go look up Nurse J Becky, and then you'll see my comment. I'm sure you can figure it out from what I said. But on that note, yeah, we got some comedy on the way out. Fuck, I wanted to go out on some comedy. It's a funny comment. And it's a little lewd too. We get a little lewd around here. I haven't been doing that lately because the world is fucking depressing. The world is fucking depressing right now. And then let me just be one to say happy Pride Month yet again. Men's mental health is a problem. But I'm going to be one of those gays that says, how dare you try to overshadow our month with a legitimate topic that needs to be discussed. That was done on purpose. That was a strategic move. How dare you? Anyways. Good night. Good day. I love you all. That was a weird sign off. I apologize. Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye.